Since Chat GPT's release this past November, the AI chatbot has skyrocketed in popularity, with an estimated 1 billion active users across its free and paid versions. In recent months, there's been much speculation in the media about how Chat GPT and similar generative AI tools could cause mass unemployment as AI replaces human workers. Journalists, writers, marketers, and software engineers are believed to be at the most risk. But surprisingly, the first victim of ChatGPT appears to be the online education company Chegg. On Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023, Chegg's share price fell by 50% in just one day, cutting more than $1 billion off of its market cap. This builds on prior losses, with the stock having lost 90% of its value, or more than $10 billion since its all-time highs. The dramatic decline was triggered by the CEO's acknowledgement of increasing competition from ChatGPT and a subsequent projection of a 10% decline in second quarter revenue. University students seem to be increasingly turning to ChatGPT to complete their homework and even cheat on exams. The collapse of Chegg's stock price raises concerns not only about the company's future viability, but also about the sustainability of other online education companies. Furthermore, it calls into question the integrity of the education system, and highlights the ease with which cheating on exams can occur now. With the rise of ChatGPT, anyone with an internet connection has access to not only a wealth of information, but also the ability to reason faster and more advanced than even the most intelligent humans. This new reality necessitates a revelation of our education system and the way we work, as fundamental changes may be needed to adapt to this rapidly evolving landscape. While new AI tools are certainly exciting, one thing a chatbot can't replace is life insurance, which is why today's video is brought to you by Policy Genius. If you have a family or anybody else who depends on you, life insurance is a necessity. Mortgage payments, childcare, and other expenses don't disappear when you're gone. A good life insurance policy can give you peace of mind that even in a worst-case scenario, your loved ones will be covered. Even if you have life insurance through your employer, this may not be enough to cover your family's needs, and it won't follow you if you leave your job. But luckily, finding the right coverage for you and your family has never been easier thanks to Policy Genius, an online marketplace built to modernize the life insurance industry. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $25 per month for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer coverage in as little as a week and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Their licensed agents work for you, not the insurance companies. There are no added fees, and your personal information is kept private. This is how they've earned 5-star reviews on both Google and Trustpilot. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find and buy it. Head to policygenius.com/wallstreetmillennial or click the link in the description below to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you can save. You can think of Chegg as the Netflix of education. They started off as an online rental service for university textbooks. University students could rent a textbook for a fraction of the cost to buy it. It would be mailed to them and they'd return it at the end of the semester. This was very similar to how Netflix worked in the early days. As internet bandwidth improved, both Netflix and Chegg pivoted their business model to be more digital. Chegg started offering a subscription program where you can get practice problem sets with solutions, flashcards, and practice tests. The idea is that university students can use these online resources from Chegg to supplement their normal classes and gain a better understanding of key academic concepts. One of the differentiating features of Chegg is their network of subject matter experts, or SMEs. SMEs are freelancers who will answer questions posted by Chegg users for a fee. The majority of Chegg's subject matter experts come from India and are paid roughly $2 to complete each question. SMEs are required to have at least a bachelor's degree in their relevant field. The SMEs complete the entire problem and show all the relevant workings of the problem. Students can take pictures of their homework assignments and get them completed by Chegg SMEs. As you probably could guess, the pandemic was a massive boon for Chegg. With universities shifting to remote learning, this created a massive opportunity for students to use Chegg to cheat, not only on their homework but also on exams. Students would immediately take screenshots of their online exams and send them to Chegg. In many cases, the SMEs would be able to answer the questions before time is up, yielding a high exam score regardless of the student's own abilities. Also, if that same exam had been used in a previous semester, which is often the case, the answer may already be saved on Chegg's database, giving Chegg users instant access. University professors were quick to notice. Many of them complained about this new cheating phenomenon on social media channels such as Reddit's r/professors. Some professors complained that students would answer complex exam questions that should have taken at least half an hour in less than 1 minute. Universities have tried to come up with various methods to prevent students from cheating with Chegg, but students are equally clever in finding ways to overcome these safeguards. On social media, TikTok, and YouTube, there are tons of posts by students talking about how to cheat on online exams. Chegg officially states that they do not condone students using their platform to cheat. One of Chegg's services allows you to check your written essays against billions of sources to detect plagiarism. They claim that this is to prevent accidental plagiarism. I'll let you draw your own conclusions as to what students would likely use this service for. Either way, Chegg was a massive beneficiary of remote learning, with their revenue growing 57% in 2020, far higher than their previous growth rates, and the company's stock price more than tripled. Whether students use Chegg to cheat or just to gain a better understanding of their course material, Chat GPT represents a massive competitive threat. To test this out, I found an example problem sheet written by a Harvard physics professor posted on the university's official website. I've put a link in the comments section below. The first problem is about green-eyed dragons. You go to a remote island and find 100 dragons, all of which have green eyes. This island has a rule: if any one of them figures out that they have green eyes, the next day they will turn into a sparrow and lose their dragon powers. But there are no mirrors on the island, and the dragons never talk to each other about eye color. Every dragon knows that all of the other 99 dragons have green eyes, but they have no way of knowing their own eye color. So despite having lived on the island for millions of years, none of the dragons have ever turned into sparrows. One day you get all the dragons together and tell them at least one of them has green eyes. This is something they already know because each dragon can see that the other 99 dragons have green eyes. What, if anything, happens to the dragons? Feel free to pause the video if you want to try to figure out this problem on your own. I thought nothing would happen. All of the dragons already knew that at least one of them has green eyes, but they would still have no way of knowing their own eye color. I asked Chat GPT and it turns out I was wrong. On the 100th night, since all 100 dragons see 99 other green-eyed dragons, and no dragons have transformed in the previous 99 nights, they all deduce that they themselves must also have green eyes. As a result, at the end of the 100th day, all 100 dragons transform into sparrows at the same time. To understand why this is, it's useful to start with a simple example of just two dragons. The two dragons are named Alice and Bob. Let's look at the situation from Alice's perspective. She can see that Bob's eyes are green, but she does not know the color of her own eyes. They could be green or blue. On day 0, you tell Alice and Bob that at least one of them has green eyes. If Alice's eyes are blue, Bob will know that he himself must have green eyes by process of elimination. He will thus turn into a sparrow the next day. However, if Alice's eyes are green, Bob will still be ignorant as to the color of his own eyes, and he will not turn into a sparrow. On day 1, Alice observes that Bob did not turn into a sparrow. Alice can therefore deduce that she must have green eyes. For the same reason, Bob deduces that he must also have green eyes. So on day 2, they both turn into sparrows. Now let's take the example of 3 dragons: Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Again, let's view the world from Alice's perspective. She knows that Bob and Charlie both have green eyes. Let's suppose that Alice has blue eyes. Bob and Charlie can both directly observe Alice's eyes, and they see that they are blue. Now let's shift to Bob's perspective. He can directly observe that Alice has blue eyes and Charlie has green eyes, but he does not know the color of his own eyes. If Bob's eyes are blue, Charlie will know by the process of elimination that he must be the only dragon with green eyes. Thus, Charlie will turn into a sparrow on day 1. If Bob's eyes are green, Charlie will remain ignorant of his own eye color. If on day 1 Charlie has not turned into a sparrow, Bob will know that his own eye color must be green. Thus on day 2, both Charlie and Bob will turn into sparrows. However, if Alice's eyes are green, the same process of elimination logic will no longer work. And by day 2, none of the dragons will have turned into sparrows. Now let's move back to Alice. On day 0, she knows that both Bob and Charlie have green eyes, but she doesn't know her own eye color. But she knows that if her eyes are blue, both Bob and Charlie will turn into sparrows on day 2. So when she observes on day 2 that neither Bob nor Charlie have turned into sparrows, she knows that her eyes must be green. All of the dragons make the same deductions, and on day 3 they all turn into sparrows. You can scale this example up to 100, and you'll see that on day 100, all of the dragons will deduce that they have green eyes, and they will all turn into sparrows at the same time. The deeper takeaway from the 100 green-eyed dragons problem is the concept and significance of common knowledge in reasoning and decision-making processes, particularly in situations that involve groups or communities. Each dragon already knew that there are many green-eyed dragons around them. However, they lacked a common base of knowledge, which prevented them from initiating the chain of logical deductions that would eventually lead to determining their own eye color. The learning from the green-eyed dragons can be applied to the real world. Even if other people are unwilling or unable to tell you what they know, you can still deduce information based on how they react to commonly known information. The fact that Chat GPT can solve such a complicated problem in a matter of seconds has huge implications for the education system. If it's so easy for people to have Chat GPT solve problems for you, why would anyone do any work themselves? OpenAI has tried to develop software to detect whether or not a piece of text has been written with the help of an AI chatbot, but it looks like the AI is already too realistic for this to work. I tested this out by asking Chat GPT what it knows about Chegg. I then copied and pasted this into OpenAI's own AI detection tool. They said it was unclear whether or not it was written by AI. I then asked it to rewrite the same text in such a way that it cannot be identified as being written by AI. And sure enough, it was able to trick the detection tool, which said the text was unlikely to have been written by AI. In August of 2022, academic integrity took another hit with the landmark Ogletree versus Cleveland State University case. During online proctored exams, many universities implemented so-called room scan policies, where students have to show a proctor their entire room with their webcam, such that they can detect any secondary computers or other cheating devices. A student at Cleveland State University sued the university, saying that the room scan represented an unreasonable search and thus violated his Fourth Amendment rights under the US Constitution. A federal judge ruled in favor of the student. This ruling potentially puts the entire concept of remotely proctored exams in jeopardy. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle. With the widespread adoption of tools like Chat GPT, universities will have to adjust to a new reality. Students will use AI to help them complete homework assignments, and likely also exams. Chat GPT is not only affecting education, but the working world too. If you can leverage Chat GPT to work twice as fast, you could do twice as much work in a day. But if you complete your tasks faster, your boss may just increase your workload and not even pay you more. So many workers are instead secretly applying for new jobs and working 2 full-time jobs at the same time without telling either employer. This works best for certain roles in marketing, accounting, and software development. These are jobs which involve a lot of writing or code, which can be greatly sped up with the help of Chat GPT. Accountants who work with Excel often find that Chat GPT can create complex Excel macros, which greatly increase their productivity. For many of these jobs, you're expected to work on your own for the majority of the time, so Zoom calls are infrequent. With enough finesse, many workers are able to work 2 or even 3 jobs at a time, with their managers being none the wiser. This phenomenon is called overemployment, and there's even a subreddit called r/overemployment with 173,000 members. If workers are able to get their jobs done to the extent that their manager is satisfied with the quantity and quality of output, why should it matter how long it took to get the work done? Of course, this can only be a temporary phenomenon. Eventually, managers will figure out that most of their workers are using ChatGPT. They will then increase work output expectations accordingly, such that overemployment is no longer a viable option. As we stand on the cusp of a new era in technology, it's clear that generative AI models like ChatGPT are here to stay. These AI systems have the potential to revolutionize the way we work and learn. This is no longer theoretical. We already see tens of thousands of overemployed workers leveraging ChatGPT to competently perform multiple full-time jobs simultaneously. With that being said, AI is still a far ways off from completely replacing humans. For example, in late January of this year, BuzzFeed started experimenting with AI-generated articles. The company's stock price initially quadrupled on this news, as investors were overtaken by AI hype. When they started publishing AI-generated articles, they were laughably bad. We've linked a few of them in the comments section below if you want to check them out for yourself. After investors realized that BuzzFeed's AI articles were trash, the stock resumed its prior trajectory towards zero. This highlights the current inability of AI to fully replace human creativity and nuanced thinking. It can only be used to enhance the efforts of human workers in less creative functions, such as software engineering and accounting. Utilizing tools like ChatGPT is a valuable skill in and of itself. There are already countless YouTube videos and articles talking about how to engineer ChatGPT prompts to get the most effective results. Instead of embarking on a futile effort to ban AI assistants, educational institutions would be better off teaching students how to use them and creating new types of assessments where students are expected to use ChatGPT. This will prepare them to enter the modern workforce, where they will have to use AI tools to stay competitive. As far as Chegg, they recently announced a partnership with OpenAI to create their own AI chatbot called Cheggmate. Cheggmate will leverage Chegg's existing database of human-vetted quiz answers to create what they claim will be a more accurate chatbot specifically designed for education. However, Cheggmate will almost certainly be more expensive than Chat GPT Plus, as both OpenAI and Chegg will take their cut. And given how effective Chat GPT already is at solving even complex problems, it's unclear if Cheggmate can offer a superior value proposition. That's why we've seen such a dramatic decline in Chegg's share price. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. How do you think generative AI will impact how we learn and work going forward? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Wall Street Millennial, signing out.